On this episode of Inquirer Rachel, Rachel talks with Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn native chef Titus Michell, an educator turned chef, the founder of a culinary conversation. Also, the Stuy Burgers, a chef with a passion for his community.
One of the things that I said I wanted to do is I wanted to bring like a fine dining experience to this community and to other communities and to communities of color.
Provoke. Inspire. Inform. Educate. Inquirer Rachel.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Inquirer Rachel. My
Guest of the evening is an educator turned chef who is here to school us on his love for cooking and to have us taste one of his dishes. Please welcome Mr. Titus Michell to the stage. Thank you for being here. All right, how are we doing?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Because you're feeding us. That's
Yes,
the only reason
that's the only
why.
reason. Absolutely.
That is the only reason
Absolutely.
why. So what made you go from education to wanting to cook?
It was something that I thought about later on in life. When I thought back on it, like I always entertained at home, right? So when I was living on my own, I always entertained, like have Super Bowl parties. And I would cook baked ziti, like that was my go-to meal, right? Baked ziti. When I was single, that was my go-to meal. When I had a female friend over, right? The baked ziti.
Go-to meal on dates.
Exactly.
Hashtag
Baked
go-to
ziti, cook the baked ziti, can't
meals
go
on
wrong.
dates.
And so entertain and cooking, and that was just, again, when I thought back, like that was something I always did. So it's not like, I would watch my mother in the kitchen. That wasn't really something I did, even though periodically that was, she cooked all the time, but that was, you hear a lot of stories about chefs, they watch their mother, they watch their aunts, they watch their grandmothers. That really wasn't my journey. It was just something more later on in life that I really just decided that, this is really a passion.
Something you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now you started a culinary conversation.
Yes.
What is that?
So basically, a culinary conversation is a event that I started after I graduated culinary school, where a friend of mine who owns an art gallery in the Bed-Stuy community, he allows me to use his space, and then I come up with a menu, and then we have a sit-down dinner. Typically, it's a 4-course meal with a wine pairing, And it's a menu that I come up with, and it's about 20 to 24 people, and we just sit down, have a good time, good conversation, good food, good people.
That's great. Where's your friend's gallery?
So Richard Beaver's gallery is right down the block on Marcus Garvey, 408 Marcus Garvey Boulevard. Actually, Richard Beaver's owner of the gallery just walked in. Rich, what's up?
That's great. Yeah.
So again, it's an 8-course tasting. So I try to do different things. So it's a 4-course meal. In the past, I've done brunch tastings. This one, and let me just back up. So as I'm continuing to do these events, I'm actually growing, right? And I'm actually building my skills. I just came back from France in September. I was there for residency for a month. And so, I just want to continue to build my skills. And when we and Rich debriefed after the very first one, one of the things that I said I wanted to do is I wanted to bring like a fine dining experience to this community and to other communities and to communities of color, right? We shouldn't have to go into different parts of Manhattan and spend $300-400 if we want to, have a nice meal, right? So that was one of my main incentives for wanting to do this and do it here in the community.
Well, we thank you for it.
Yes, absolutely.
It's very good exposure for the community.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. You do other things which include teaching kids how to cook. How does that go over? And what age groups do you usually start at?
Yeah, so my background is in education. So I went to undergrad at John Jay. I got my degree, my undergrad in public administration. And then after that, I went to Cambridge College in Massachusetts for my education, my master's in education.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And so after that is when obviously I found my true passion for cooking, and I just thought that, you can definitely integrate the two, right? I can follow my passion, and I can also introduce kids to the profession of cooking and culinary arts. And so, along with a couple other people who I partner with in the community, that's something that we like to do every now and then. And so I'm building actually my nonprofit that focuses on trade skills, and one of the trade skills is culinary arts. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah, so typically it's middle school because when I was growing up, right, we had trade skills in our middle school and high schools, right? We had woodworking, we had auto mechanics, right? And so a lot of that stuff was introduced in middle school to us. And so when I thought about it, when I wanted to start my nonprofit, I wanted to go back to that age group, right? It's not that high school is too old, but we start to figure out what we want to do early on. And I don't think we give enough young people credit with that. And we don't give enough kids the options, right? And so, it's one of those things where it's like I want to introduce it at the middle school age. So now you kind of have options, right, to figure out what it is you want to do after high school.
Are you the main cook at home?
Yes, I am.
You are the main cook.
Yeah.
If I had someone that cooked, I would not be. The kitchen
Yeah,
is not
yeah,
my forte.
yeah. The
That
wife
is
don't
not-
cook at all. No,
that is not something that I'm very good at.
Not at all.
Now you've brought us. What have you brought us here? You brought some tastings for us to taste.
Yeah,
A little bit of something that you made.
Yeah, so this is a ceviche. So ceviche is typically with a fish, and basically it cooks in its own juices with some type of citrus flavoring. So lemon, lime. And so what this is, it's a salmon ceviche cooked in or sitting in lime and lemon and a little bit of mango. So it has mango in it. It has jalapeno. It has shallots. There's scallions in it. And then there's an aioli sauce. An aioli basically is an egg-based sauce. And that
I think my mouth is watering just a
and
little
that
bit.
has a little bit of mango juice in it as well with some lime juice.
How long did it take you to prepare this?
All
All right. Do you mind if I taste one?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'm gonna go in first. Now I'm gonna taste my salmon ceviche. Real focused. This is very good. I taste the mango. Hold on. I'm on what's one of those chef shows? And anybody go. There you go. I'm on Top Chef. Let's critique this now. Let's just critique it. It actually tastes really good. I can taste the cilantro. I can taste the lime, the mango. Everything tastes really good. You might where can we find more about you? What can we follow? Do you have an Instagram?
Yes.
Do you have a Twitter?
Yes. So my
YouTube?
Instagram is a culinary conversation. So it's just a culinary conversation. Yeah, you can find me there, photos. I post all my events there, no matter what it is, whether it's my events that I'm doing at the gallery or working with other people. I actually have a friend of mine who started her own champagne company, and she's having an event next week, and I'm catering it. So, and I thank you, Rachel, because there's a lot of things going on in the community. I don't mean to get on the soapbox real
that's
quick.
Okay.
But there's a lot of things happening in the community. There's a lot of people doing good things, right? There's a lot of people of color, men and women, doing a lot of good things in the community. And one of the things when we first met is like, I want to bring that awareness to people of color. I want to bring that to these communities. And this young lady, she has her own champagne company, a young sister, and she's trying to build her brand. And anything that I can do to support, I'm all for it. So.
We thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I thank you for being on my show today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We will enjoy your salmon ceviche.
Yes.
So thank you all. Make sure you follow Mr. Michell on A Culinary Conversation on Instagram,
Yes.
on YouTube. Make sure you follow Inquirer Rachel on Instagram, on YouTube. And we thank you very much. We hope that you enjoyed our show today. Thank you.
Next on Inquirer Rachel.
The funeral industry is actually very complex, but yet very simple.
Okay.
The idea of understanding people's grief and where they are at the time of that grief. Frank Bell Funeral Home has been around for us for more than 60 plus years. My sister is the CEO of the funeral home. Myself and my brother-in-law are executive board members.